All right, welcome back to Broncos Country Tonight, joined by Hall of Famer Steve Atwater. What up, Steve?
Hey, what's going on, gentlemen?
It's good to talk to you again. And under the circumstances, I can't wait to hear what you have to say about what happened in the Broncos-Saints game. Have you ever seen anything remotely like that? And what was your reaction over the weekend when you found out the Broncos were going to have to start a rookie wide receiver at quarterback?
Yeah, I know. First off, I've never seen anything like that before. Never thought anything like that would happen to where a team would be so handicapped and the game would still be allowed to play. And once I found out about it, I couldn't believe it. I was like, this got to be a joke. You know, this can't be real. They're not going to make our team play without any quarterbacks. And that's exactly what they did. But what happened, rather, I'm not going to say it's what they did. And you know, I think the guys, they did the best they could do, but, you know, that it was kind of the writing was on the wall that it was not going to be a great football game. Heck, you know, we got a quarterback that we drafted in the second round, and, you know, he's developing and he's, you know, having some issues. Can you imagine a guy that hasn't played quarterback for years and, you know, just trying to learn plays at the last minute? It was a bad situation, but I think the guys, you know, had a good time. Well, not having a good time losing, but, you know, they made the best of the situation.
You know, I haven't seen a team this hamstrung at quarterback since the Lono High School Jackrabbits trotted out a young Benjamin Allbright. Honestly, I think he completed fewer passes when all was said and done.
But you had the speed, though, right? You had
yeah, well, you know, you can only run away from that loss as fast as you can. I think that you know, I like the fact that the defense was out there fighting. How do you have that mindset to stay dialed in on a game that's so obviously almost comical in what is happening on the offensive side of the ball?
Well, you can't go out there saying, all right, we're playing, and if we don't have a chance to win, I'm just going to give up. You know, you got to say, hey, man, I'm playing for pride. I'm playing for my teammates, playing for my city, you know, and you got to go out there and do your best, because at the end of the day, when your contract comes up, or, you know, this team or other teams are looking, they're going to look at your film and see how you played. They're going to see how you played in good times and in bad times. And, you know, guys who start complaining and making excuses and, you know, loafing, you know, those are the kind of guys, they don't last long in the NFL. And they're not elite players. The elite players find a way to get through anything and just make it happen and still perform at a high level. So, yeah, I'm really proud of the guys for hanging in there fighting when I think they were, you know, really playing with, you know, one arm behind their back, so to speak.
Now, let's talk about it if you were on the defensive side. Like, how would you have approached the night before you find out that your opponent is going to be starting a rookie wide receiver at quarterback? Like, I mean, again, you prep all week for what you're going to see, and then all of a sudden it is drastically different. How would you approach that game?
Well, I mean, looking at how the season has gone so far, all the injuries that we've had, I think I would have, you know, I would have been upset that we had to play the game. But I still would have had to try and get myself and my teammates up to, you know, go out there and perform at as high level as we could, because, you know, the things that we can control, we try to control them. The things that we can't, we just got to let it go by the wayside. But, yeah, and if we would have been in the hunt for the playoffs, it would have been a different story, you know, because I would have really been ticked off then. Like, hey, man, you know, y'all going to make us play without our quarterbacks? And I probably would have been upset at our quarterbacks, but, you know, stuff happens. That they apparently, you know, checked and, you know, was allowed to go into the facility. So, you know, who knows, you know, I'm not going to say who's at fault there, but because I don't know. So it would have been much more disappointing to have to play that game if we would have been in the hunt for the playoffs, knowing that, you know, the chances of winning are slim to none.
Do you think this refocuses the team? I mean, do you think?
Do you guys think they could have won the game? Is there any way they could have won that game?
I mean, if all the quarterbacks had been there, they might have.
Oh,
I mean,
yeah.
The defensive performance in that game. The Broncos got 3 sacks and an interception despite limited pass rushing attempts against Taysom Hill. I thought the defense had a pretty good game going into that against the Saints.
Well, they did, and you know, it's one of the things I said going into the game, that the defense is going to have to just settle in and get patient and just know that it's going to be a long day. No use of getting mad at the offense, because it's going to be a whole bunch of 3 and outs, and you're going to be on the field quite a bit. And it seems like they did that. And, you know, hopefully this is the only game in history that'll have to go down like this, and they won't have to do that anymore. But, you know, just heck of a bad spot to be put in. But, again, I think everyone, coaches included, man, just, you know, had a great attitude about it and handle it. And, you know, these would be things they'll be able to build on in the future and look back and say, look, man, remember we played that game without a quarterback? We had
that's a lot of adversity.
The receiver playing quarterback. So, yeah, it was a lot of adversity, and I'm proud of the guys, even though, like I said, we didn't have the outcome that we all wanted.
All right, last one here for you, Steve. I think a lot of people were hoping off of the Dolphins game the Broncos would be able to build a little momentum down the stretch, whether it resulted in going to the playoffs or more even just maybe getting a winning record or maybe competing in some of these tough matchups down the road. How does this reset that?
Yeah, I think it does. It's like a huge distraction, and I still don't know if we know for sure that the quarterbacks will be back for this week. So once we find out that the quarterbacks can be back, that'll be one thing that we can take off the plate in terms of worrying about. But still, did we lose some momentum by not having Drew Lock play and the other guys active? Did we? Hopefully, we don't take a step back from that, because it was a huge distraction, and we got to find a way to get back hunkered down, and ready to go.
I like it. Steve, always good, man. Thanks for the time.
Thanks, fellas. Appreciate you. Have a great day.
I appreciate it. For Benjamin Allbright, I'm Ryan Edwards. Thank you for watching Broncos Country Tonight.